Hello and welcome to Film Physicality. In this video, I'll just be talking about my first movie for my 13 Days of Horror for Halloween. Let's get to it. So the first film that I watched for my 13 Days of Horror was The Exorcist. And I got this very nice Steelbook, which I guess I can show a clip of now. It is a very nice Steelbook with very nice artwork, both on the front and on the inside as well. A whole lot better than the slipcover version. And this includes the 4K for both the theatrical version and the director's cut. Now this is pretty much a first time watch for me. I remember seeing clips of it when I was a kid, but I never really fully sat down and watched the movie. I've wanted to since forever, but honestly, I was just waiting for a good solid release to come out, and I guess this was it. And yeah, it's a 4K and it's probably the best that this will ever look. So I figure, yeah, now's the time. And so The Exorcist is of course a horror movie released in 1973. It was a controversial release, and if you've seen the film, you probably understand why. But that didn't stop it from completely selling out theaters though. It was first just put on select theaters because the studio didn't think it would do as well as it did. But then it was quickly put on in a lot more theaters as it quickly gained popularity. And so the film is directed by William Friedkin, who also directed movies like The French Connection, Haunted, Bug, and Killer Joe, which is one that I think is very underrated. And so The Exorcist is about a 12-year-old girl who begins to adapt an explicit new personality as strange events befall the local area of Georgetown, Washington, D.C. Her mother becomes torn between science and superstition in a desperate bid to save her daughter, and ultimately turns to her last hope, Father Damien Karras, a troubled priest who is struggling with his own faith. And so speaking of Washington, D.C., in a few weeks I'll be visiting there, and I'll be visiting Georgetown, and actually you'll get to visit the stairs used in the movie and the house from the movie, so I'm excited for that. But anyways, back to the movie, and yeah, this movie is just so good, and I can completely understand how it is the horror staple that it is. The 4K includes the theatrical version and the extended. The extended includes about 12 more minutes, and I ended up going with the extended one just because it seemed like it had a lot more material to add. But I've also read that some people prefer the theatrical to the extended, so I don't know, maybe I'll eventually watch the theatrical and see for myself. But yeah, the movie still holds up very well. It has awesome and very surprisingly good special effects and makeup. It has a lot of scenes that, man, I can't imagine they were very shocking back in the day, and they're very shocking now as well. And it's funny because, you know, I've seen the Scary Movie franchise, and all the time I was thinking, like, before watching it, that Scary Movie would ruin the movie for me. And I don't think it really ruined the experience. There were a few occasions that, yeah, maybe just a little bit, but overall it was still a good experience. Of course, it also has an awesome performance from the girl, Linda Blair, which what she did and what she had to go through couldn't have been easy to do. And yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but it just has a certain something to it. Like, exorcism movies aren't really necessarily my go-to horror subgenre, since they're all about, you know, having the possessed person just yelling a bunch of profanity and doing a bunch of weird stuff. And while this movie, yeah, it does that, and it does it very well, I feel like it also has something more than that. Something that probably no one will ever be able to recreate in an exorcism movie. Like, for example, it doesn't even compare to more recent exorcism movies like the recent Pope's Exorcist, which wasn't really all that great and didn't have that, I guess, charm that this movie does. And yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this film. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. And yeah, that's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I guess I have 12 more reviews to go through and 12 more movies to watch. I mean, I'll be watching more horrors, but, you know, I'll be reviewing those 13. And yeah, remember, if you like this video, give me a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Trying to get to do more stuff like this. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you on the next one.